Hello everybody, welcome to UK Gaming Network. I'm Brian, also known as UK Jen Zoidberg. We're nearing the business end of the countdown now as I reveal what I believe to be the 100 best Amiga games ever. So far I've talked about 60 games, and now it's time to reveal the next 30. One of the most interesting things for me about making this new top 100 is comparing it to my old one from 4 years ago. There are 44 games that were included in that original countdown that have been replaced by other games this time around. That original top 100 was games that I felt that you should be adding to the A500 Mini, so therefore 12 of the new entries this time around are actually games that are pre-installed on it. By now, if you've watched the previous 2 episodes, you've probably got some grasp on what types of games I prefer, but how good are you at predicting what's coming up? As always, this is merely my own opinion and just a bit of fun. It's perfectly fine if you don't agree with any of my rankings. Now let's see what games take up positions 40 to 11, and then make sure you come back next Monday for the top 10. Goal, 1993, Dini and Dini Productions. Forget the name, this is the true Kick-Off 3, as Dino Dini improved on all the gameplay of the original football classic in meaningful ways. It manages to simultaneously feel like Kick-Off 2, but also new at the same time. Super Stardust, 1994, Bloodhouse. Not a sequel as such, more of an A1200 remake of the original Stardust, which took all the basics of asteroids and added power-ups, multiple enemy types and a banging soundtrack. The ray trace graphics still look amazing all these years later. Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge 1990, Magnetic Fields. This just edges it over the sequels for me thanks to a more interesting challenge. Offering up 3 progressively harder championships full of multi-lap races and pit stops meant that I played this more than the 2 games that followed it combined. Yo-Jo, 1993, Scipio. Excellent combat platform game that was already great before they decided to add a 2-player co-op mode, and that just pushes it to even greater heights. More deliberately paced than many other platform games at the time, which were too busy chasing Sonic. Nebulous, 1988, John Phillips. Pretty much a straight conversion of the 8-bit game, just with a 16-bit paint job, but this is still a fantastic, challenging and addictive platform game. The rotation effect of the towers works brilliantly, and it doesn't overcomplicate things like its sequel did. Rodland, 1991, The Sales Curve. So cute it will make you puke, said the adverts, and while I never once felt nauseous while playing, it's definitely one of the most adorable and colourful games around, and even more glorious in 2-player. Super Hang-On, 1988, ZZKJ. Puts the Amiga version of Outrun to shame and actually came out the year before. A hugely enjoyable, fast and addictive conversion of the Sega Motorbike classic with a fantastic soundtrack and a great choice of controls. James Pond 2, codename Robocod, 1991, Vectordine. From the first notes of Richard Joseph's reworking of the Robocop theme, I knew that I was in safe hands, and this is one of the most colourful, playable and downright joyful platform games ever made. Lionheart, 1993, Thalion. A real technical and visual tour de force that pushed the standard A500 to its limits. There's nice variety to the levels, and your attacking moveset requires you to carefully plan each enemy encounter. My only issue is some of the earlier enemies blend in too well with the scenery. No second prize, 1992, Thalion. I can't think of any other Amiga game that has 3D visuals as smooth or as fast as this superb racing game. The mouse controls are absolutely perfect, and the sensation of speed is second to none, thanks to some truly immersive sound. Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, 1993, LucasArts. As far as the story goes, this is the true Indy 4 as far as I'm concerned. The writers nailed the character and gave us a compelling mystery to solve. It's a shame that we never got an AGA version, as some of the 32 coloured backgrounds are disappointing, but it's not enough to ruin anything. Alien Breed Tower Assault, 1994, Team 17. Took everything that worked about the original games, tension-filled encounters, varied weaponry and great co-op, and then bolted on an open-ended structure, and an investigation element. It all worked incredibly well.
Jordan, warning, energy low.
Apidia, 1992, Kaiko. In early 1992, when the world was going gaga over Project X, the cool kids were doing the same thing over this game instead, thanks to its unique setting, awesome soundtrack and scalable gameplay. Fire and Ice, 1992, Graph Gold. I think Cool Coyote is the most endearing platform hero on the Amiga. The game he stars in is a bit of a belter too, even though it makes the bold choice to start with the slippy slidey ice world, usually the bane of any platform game. Worms the Director's Cut, 1997, Team 17 and Andy Davidson. I came late to the Amiga version of Worms, and my first experience of the series came with the PlayStation. But going back to where it all began is always fun, especially with 4 players. I think it actually works better on the A1200 version than the CD32 though.
Stupid! What's this? Perfect! What's this? Stupid!
Uridium 2, 1993, Graph Gold. The sequel to one of the best 8-bit shooters I ever played. While the temptation is there to take on all the levels at breakneck speed, it's only when you slow down a bit that the gameplay really clicks, and the gravity-bending conclusions to each level were an excellent addition. Megalomania, 1991, Sensible Software. If you find a lot of strategy games to be too complicated and long-winded, then this is the perfect antidote. Sensible's talent for streamlining gameplay and injecting humour is on full display, so much so that just about anybody will be able to pick up and play it. Ergonomically terrific indeed.
Critical.
The sector has been destroyed. We've conquered the sector. We've won.
The First Samurai, 1991, Vivid Image Design. A masterclass in the use of sound and music to enhance your gaming experience. Before you even consider what you're meant to be doing, it was fun to just explore the vast levels and play around with the fighting controls, and that made it an absolute joy to play. Roguecraft DX 2026, Badger Punch Games. The newest game on the list. The DX version took an excellent but short game and fixed all of the minor issues that it had. It's now twice as long, more challenging, and features a lot more horrific monsters to deal with. The isometric graphics are incredible too. The Settlers, 1993, Blue Byte. In many ways, this is the ultimate chill-out game. Lost count of how many hours of my life have been spent just watching my villagers go about their business, and that's before you even get onto the meat of the game. Guardian, 1994, Mark Sibley. Already a great 3D version of Defender on the A1200, but this was the killer app for the CD32, thanks to great use of all the buttons on the controller and an excellent soundtrack that accompanied the action. Rough and Tumble, 1993, Wonderkind. Being able to program the controls so that I could jump with a button rather than push up on the joystick made this already great platform game that looks better than most console releases into an excellent one when you play it on the A500 Mini. Speedball 2 Brutal Deluxe, 1990, the Bitmap Brothers. Quite simply, the greatest futuristic sports game you could play on any system ever. Do I need to say more? Okay, well I suppose I could tell you that the presentation is nigh on perfect too, with great crowd noise and steely Dan Malone visuals. Degeneration, 1992, Abersoft. Incredibly deep and rewarding action-adventure game that looks simple thanks to its pretty basic graphics, but is anything but. The whole thing oozes atmosphere and it never loses its ability to surprise you.
I'm not putting my hand anywhere near there.
Beneath a Steel Sky, 1994, Revolution Software. If Lure of the Temptress introduced the virtual theatre to adventure games, this game perfected it. Even without an actual AGA version, the world looks amazing thanks to Dave Gibbons' artwork, and the story kept me gripped throughout.
No sudden moves, Overman. Get over to the furnace.
You're Officer Reich, I presume. You've made a mistake. I'm not Overman.
Link, we can't let him escape.
What the hell is going on? Reich seems pretty cut up about it, but he's given me 2 leads. Overman and Link.
Llamatron, 1991, Llamasoft. Even the great Eugene Jarvis says that this is the greatest Robotron clone he ever played, and who are we to argue? Everything that you expect from a Jeff Minter game, great sounds, perfect controls, and addictive gameplay. Bomb Jack Beer Edition, 2018, McGeezer. The original Amiga version is a poor approximation of my favourite arcade game, but this is as perfect a conversion as you can get. It even still has Lady Godiva on the soundtrack. Vroom, 1991, Dan McRae. Just like No Second Prize, this blisteringly quick racer benefits greatly from some awesome sound. It really adds to the incredible sensation of speed that you get with every race. The game was essentially repackaged and sold as F1 by Domark 2 years later, but whichever game you play, it's superb. Cannon Fodder, 1993, Sensible Software. I bet you are all in shock that this isn't in the top 10, and to be honest, so am I. 12th place means that it's still a mighty fine game though. Perfectly designed, easy to play, and one that you will come back to over and over again. A true Amiga classic, and was never as good on any other system. Monkey Island 2 LeChuck's Revenge, 1991, LucasArts. The Further Adventures of Guybrush Threepwood, Mighty Pirate, a truly superb sequel that delves deeper into the lore of the pirate world, while at the same time delivering some of the finest jokes in gaming. For me, the greatest adventure game that LucasArts ever made, and possibly the greatest adventure game ever.